Hello everyone, welcome back to Technically Unsure, where I'm not really sure what I'm doing technically.
I'm sure I am not.
Today, I'm actually excited and also slightly baffled because I've got my hands on a tiny computer, mini PC. I think it does have a very powerful CPU in it. It comes in a very nice package. It is very cheap, so I don't know what to expect honestly. So we're gonna take a look at it together. I haven't opened it, let me show you. As you can see, it's sealed and this damage is in transit. That's how I got it. So it's peladn HO series and it is, to be exact, WO4 7735U Mini PC. It comes with 16GB RAM and 512GB NVMe SSD. So this bad boy apparently is on sale for like $180. I don't know what's going on, but this is $180. So let me actually open it and let me see what's inside and then we talk about it. All right, so here you will have documentation on this, and here we have some manual and some documentation for the ports and everything. And here's the device, and it's very lightweight. Press delete to enter BIOS, press F7 for the boot menu options. BIOS settings are risky, and unauthorized alterations may cause the computer to fail to boot. Well, at least that's a proper English so far. Please tear off this label before using the product. Okay, so far so good. And then there's another warning: to set up more quickly, avoid using Wi-Fi or LAN. Yeah, that's I've seen in other SPCs as well. That's mainly just for the Windows updates and stuff, so doesn't matter. So based on actually exactly what it is saying here, as you can see, that's just the power button. Okay, this is the audio jack clearly labeled, and this is a USB-C 3.2 port, and we have two USB 3.2 ports. These are marked blue, but on the back you can see that these are not blue, these are the black ones, so these are USB 2. But there's also a USB-C, but it doesn't really specify the speed. Because it's USB-C, I think it's also USB 3.2, but don't quote me on that. There is a display port. The Ethernet is 2.5, which is awesome. And HDMI is right over here, and the power cord is there. Okay, so there should be also the VESA mount stuff. Okay, so here's the VESA mount thing for it. And it comes with an HDMI, I think, right? This is HDMI. Yep, HDMI cable, which we're not gonna use. And it comes with the power supply, which looks simple and small, but I think it's enough for this. So the output is 19 volt 3 amp from this brick. Really? 19 volt 3.5 amp. I guess so. I don't know, but should be fine. Yeah, so this is the power basically. Usually the mini computers that I get that is like 19 volt and 345 watts, they come with like those bricks and the Mickey Mouse thing. This is kind of first time I'm seeing it. Anyway, let's take a look at inside of it. I just want to see what's going on the inside. So one of them actually does have that QC sticker, which we are going to go violate it this way. At least, hopefully, for now, so far, there is no glue or anything. Okay, that was easy. Very easy, actually. That's also a good RAM. It's ADATA. Might not be the best, but it's a good one, good brand. And it comes DDR5 4800, 16GB, which is perfect. First, I'm going to try it as is, but I might try a little bit bigger RAM. Since it supports DDR5, I have a bunch of DDR5, so maybe I put a larger. And this is nice. This is really nice for $180. Okay, that they have a heat sink and they're using ADATA RAM. I want to remove this, but I kind of also don't want to ruin it, but I gotta do it. We gotta see with the brand. I mean, we can probably see it in the Windows as well when we boot it. Okay, also we revealed the Wi-Fi card, which is this TL8852BE. So that's the Realtek Wi-Fi and Bluetooth chip. Nothing else in here. All good. All right, it's so neat. I really don't want to, but I want to. Let's see. Okay. All right, there you go. So this is definitely white labeling. I don't think Peladn is manufacturing NVMe SSDs, but I might be completely wrong. I mean, this label, is there something else underneath? Not really. So that's the label, and it says Peladn solid state, and it's a 512GB. So this is like their NVMe SSD, I guess. I was not going to remove this label, but I want to see what's happening underneath. Okay, so this is a Samsung chip, I think. SM2263XT. Yeah, this is a S29F2T08E MLCE. Anyway, this is a 512 gigabyte NVMe SSD, and looks like it's a Peladn brand. All right, that's good enough. Usually when I'm testing this type of mini computers, I can tell that the NVMe SSD is getting hot, but in this case, it comes with a heatsink which should not impact the performance, so it should be fine. All right, I'm gonna put this back together. Nothing else. I'm gonna keep the A-data as I said. I'm gonna just test this as is. Yeah, we will see how it does. All right, give me a couple of minutes. Let me put everything together and boot it up and see how it goes. Okay, so we are back and I booted into Windows. First, just very quickly, as you can see, when you are booted into Windows doing nothing, it's like 25 watts, okay? And I got some good benchmark results. So first of all, I have to admit, I switched to 990 Pro NVMe SSD, so it's mine. What I'm getting, what you see on the screen is basically capping the performance, the speed of the NVMe SSD. This is all you can get from that 990. It's impressive. It's full-blown PCIe lane is very fast. And also, I did a lot of benchmarks, which I'm going to walk through the screen. It did not get hot. Not on the sides, not on the top, not on the back. It's just cool as a cucumber. So just note. And here is the 3D Mark score, 5,400. And here is the CPU Z score, 5,000. And I submitted both of them, pass mark and the CPU Z score. Here you can see we are very, very close to i9-11980HK or Ryzen 9 5900HX. In that range, let's just call it. We are in that range. And as you can see here, this one actually comes with a Ryzen 7735U, which is 8-core 16-thread CPU and DDR5 RAM. So let me actually walk you through those tabs. So here you can see Ryzen 7, max TDP is 30 watts. And it's true because when I was doing benchmarks, I think the highest number I saw was like 47. So it doesn't really go above that. And it comes with the Radeon graphics, obviously. Yeah, here is the stats. And this is a motherboard, Peladn WO7. And yeah, so it's PCI Express Gen 4, by the way. And memory is DDR5. Yep, that's exactly right. 2400. So double it, 4800. And this is the RAM, 4800. Graphics is the Radeon graphics. Okay. Benchmark, I just showed you. Just to show you one more time, I'm going to stress the CPU. And yeah, look at it. It goes up to like 44, 45. I've seen 47. So that's kind of the range. And I have to say, it's very, very quiet. I don't really hear anything from this computer. Anyway, so that was the CPU Z. The next one I want to show you is the pass mark. So I submitted the pass mark as well. That URL is right there if you want to grab it and just take a look at it. Anyway, let's go one by one. So in the CPU, we are around here. Not really excellent, but also not terrible. 2D score, 3D score, memory mark. So yeah, I just wanted to very quickly walk through everything. And finally, IDA test, IDA 64. Here you can see. Okay, also, I just have to add one small correction. I was not supposed to receive this mini PC. They were going to send me a Ryzen 9 6900HX based version of their Peladn mini computer, but I guess at the last minute or something, I don't know, they sent the Ryzen 7 7735U, which is this. That's what you're seeing on the screen. So I'm sorry, in the beginning I said $180. This one is actually, they said its retail price is like $370, but I will provide a promo code down below in the description. That's what they are going to give me. Apparently it will come down to closer to $270 to $80 with the promo code. So just be aware, it's not $180, it's a $270 computer. Still very impressive. Very, very impressive. And I think it's a very fair price. It's very cool and chilly. It's very nice. And you can see the benchmark scores. Another thing I want to show you. Okay, so we are back in the game and I am on the medium preset, and as you can see on the top right corner, I know it's tiny, but that's what it is. I get 40 frames per second in Euro Truck. So 40 frames per second, kind of okay, playable definitely. There you go. So finally you're seeing those numbers that I was saying. So 50 watts and you are going to get like 40 frames per second and 1920 by 1080p in a medium preset. I tried high presets. Let me actually do it. Okay. As you can see, 1920 by 1080. I'm gonna go with high, and let me show you how much you're gonna get with the high preset. Okay, immediately you kind of notice the resolution and the things on the background is looking a lot nicer, but you're gonna drop to 27 FPS, 26, 27 FPS. It is still very much playable. I mean, if I was a big fan of this game, I would absolutely just play this with as is. Like, I'm not really noticing the frames that are like low. Yeah, you tell me, does it look too bad? I don't think so. Hopefully the capture card is capturing it properly, but what I'm seeing, absolutely playable. Okay, I just wanted to show you guys that as well. So it's not really a gaming computer, but you can, like emulation games, all of those absolutely would run with no problem whatsoever in this. I'm gonna be exact, 279.9 is just 280. Okay, so it's gonna be with the discount code that I'm gonna put in the description, it's gonna be $280. For 280, this one I think is a fair deal. So it depends on what you want to do, but if you want a computer that is fast, that is looking nice, you can install behind your monitor, can do whatever you want in terms of like editing, writing, surfing, emails, business applications, all that stuff, absolutely this can handle. And even some light gaming, especially the emulation gaming, absolutely you can do that. For 280, it's very fair. If you think different, please let me know down below, but for this CPU and this performance, I think it's fair. Okay, so now you guys saw Windows 11, everything, gaming, and a bunch of benchmarks, so all good. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to switch up to Linux, but I'm going to increase the RAM because I want to try some LLMs. Okay, so give me a couple of minutes. I will try some LLM in Linux. I'll be right back. Okay, so we are back, and I am in Ubuntu, and when it's idle in Ubuntu, it's 8 watts, just 8 watts. Okay, it sometimes even drops to 7.7. So very impressive. And let me just show you the new fetch. Here you go. So it's Ubuntu 24 and Ryzen 7 7735U with the Radeon graphics. So it's all there, Radeon 680M. Okay, so everything is fine. Now we are going to run a stress NG test, and before that it dropped again to like 5 watts. Crazy. It's 6 watts, 5 watts when it's idle. Very impressive. Now that being said, I'm going to run the stress NG test, and it's jumping to 50 watts. Okay, so that's what I was expecting to see in Windows. With CPU-Z, we were like pushing 46 watts. Now, as you can see here, we are going 50 watts. By the way, I brought out some DDR5 RAM. I don't know which one I tried. I will show you later, but I inserted a 4800 and two 32 gigabyte sticks. So this bad boy right now is running on a 64 gigabyte RAM, and you can see it comes back to 6 watts right away. And if we look at the score, wow, there you go, 158,000 in 30 seconds. And again, I have to say it's not maybe like the best comparison, but in the same test, the exact same Matrix Pro test and exactly the same time, 30 seconds in Raspberry Pi 5, here you will have 870. So we are getting 158,000. Okay, BOGO ops per second is basically 5200, call it 5300, whatever. So that's pretty much it. And I just want to show you guys also the temperatures. As I told you, it's cool, and I'm touching it. It's even cool to the touch. Okay, now we are going to try a couple of LLM models as promised. And if I do a DMI decode -T17, I just want to show you guys that I have, you know, this is not really ECC, but it's like DDR5 ECC, whatever. And it's a 4800 DDR5, as you can see. And I have 2 sticks, and each is 32 gigabyte. Okay, 32 gigabyte, 30 gigabyte. So we have 64 gigabyte DDR5 SODIMM ECC memory running on this bad boy. And now if we do a llama list, I'm not gonna go crazy. I guess let's try the 14B first. Okay, it is loaded. Now I'm going to ask the same question and look at this speed. As you can see, 50 watts, okay, 52 watts. We are capping the CPU. You can see it right there. CPU usage is actually not really high. It's 50%. So, but anyway, we are using 50% of CPU. That's 50 watts. And those are the temperatures. And you can see the speed. It's very fast, very fast. 14B, it's killing it. Like, I tested a lot of similar size SBCs in the similar price range. I think this is one of the fastest ones. You tell me. If you've been watching this channel, I did multiple reviews of similar size, similar price range computers, mini computers. None was this fast. I think it's going to come back and say this is, I think, like 8 tokens, 7, 8 tokens a second. Let's just wait. Okay, we are back and I was wrong. Seems like, I mean, it felt so much faster, but apparently it's 5 tokens a second. Still very, very impressive. You gotta admit that. Like for 280 bucks and like 50 watts, it's just making sense for this range. And we're running 14B model of the DeepSeek and it's basically killing it. It's definitely usable if you want to do LLM on this one. And the 64 gigabyte RAM is working fine. So I'm gonna just take it up a notch and go 32B, and that will be end of the test for LLMs. So let's see how it does. Okay, I'm going to ask the very same question to write a C++ function. Yeah, it is still fast for 32B model, which is 20 gigabyte model, almost 19 point something gigabyte model. This is fast. I think this is going to come back in like 2 tokens a second, 2.5 tokens a second, but 54 watts, $280. I gotta say it again. And that's the performance. I'm gonna say that's fair. I'm gonna say it's good. So yeah, I'm gonna let this run. Okay, so as you can see, it is 2.2, let's say, tokens a second. And finally, I'm getting some heat from it. It started to blow hot air from all sides. The fan ramped up a bit. As you can see, the max temperature was about 88. But now, as you can see, very, very quickly, it comes back down when you're not killing it with the extensive LLM or some other benchmark or whatever. Anyway, I just gotta say, we just ran 32B model of DeepSeek R1 on this tiny computer, and we just used 50 watts and you saw the results, 2.2 tokens a second. So very impressive, I gotta say that. I believe we tested some gaming on Windows, tested a lot of benchmarks in Windows, and did now LLM tests in Ubuntu. Everything is working out of box. I didn't touch anything. I just replaced the SSD. Everything worked. Okay, another thing I want to always test when I'm in Ubuntu is the ability to read the BIOS. So let me see that. Okay, that one doesn't work. So let's reboot. I just realized I never showed you guys the BIOS and I didn't even look at the BIOS myself. So let's do that, shall we? Okay, so we are in BIOS. There you go. Socket 0, AMD Ryzen 7735U, 8 core and all that stuff. Peladn, WO4 Mini PC, pretty standard stuff in here. And indeed, oh wow, that's extensive. Okay, so this is the AMD ACPI settings, hardware monitor. There you go. That's very nice. Everything working. S5 wake up, UEFI variable protection, CPU configuration. These are all by the way default. I'm just showing you guys what's in there. Okay, I know you guys will like it when I just walk through the BIOS, so I'm going to very quickly walk through the options. Oh, it does have resize bar support, SRIOV, and above 4G decoding, which is enabled by default. Didn't touch it. And this is the DMA mitigation thing. You can enable, disable it. And USB configuration, network configuration, NVMe configuration, that's mine, and demo board, whatever that is, TLS, AMD PBS. Wow, it's extensive. Okay, this is nice. This is actually very nice. You have a lot of options. Everything is enabled. You can play around it. So just so you know, CBS is also there. Yep, you can play around this, okay? And I'm not gonna, but yeah, you can. And DF, UMC, NBIO, FCH, yeah, everything. It's very extensive, okay? South Bridge, USB stuff, GFX, North Bridge, memory info, security, media sanitization. That's the first time I'm seeing it. I don't think I've seen this one before, but it is there. I assume it's like wiping the storage or whatever, okay? And boot, override, and firmware update. Okay, yeah, this is definitely something special and nice. And it's 2025 AMI, so yeah, it's new and it's updated, so can't really write and read to it directly from the Ubuntu, but I just want to show you guys also the RAM that I used. I know I will get a lot of comments, what did you use, what did you use? So here's what I used, but it doesn't mean, you know, the other DDR5 RAM's not gonna work. I just picked randomly because that was the first one. So what I used was Nemix RAM, and it is MSE 38400 whatever, 32 gigabyte PC5 4800 2RX8 ECC SODIMM. Okay, just so you have it, and that's very nice, and I got everything working. So give me a couple of seconds. I am actually going to now try Proxmox. By the way, when you turn it on, especially when you replace the RAM or NVMe SSD or whatever, when it's doing checking everything, no light comes on, but you can tell it's booting. So don't panic if you don't see any light when you press the power button. Fans ramp up. I have here power meter, so I know it's on. But if you don't have this, you might think, you know, it's not booting, but it's actually doing the checks on all the components. And when it basically, there you go, you see when it's supposed to do a post and it just turns the LED blue, so you know it passed all the checks. Just so you know, don't panic. Initially you are only going to hear just a fan and you gotta know it's booting. Okay, we are back, and as you can see, it's booted in Proxmox 172.16.1.4. and now let's go to my computer. As you can see, Ryzen 7735U, this is it, and it booted into Ubuntu. Everything is fine. I just want to show you how long it takes to start a container. Okay, I'm gonna click on it. 1, 2, 3, done. Okay, so you can see the speed. If I type the password correctly, you will see also how it's doing apt update. But there you go. Okay, so that's that. Now let's take a look at this one. By the way, it's 6 watts. So when I start it, 1, 2, there you go. It's basically 2 seconds. There you go. Very fast, very snappy. 7 watts when it's idle. When I'm using the container, it goes up. But you see when I'm not doing anything, comes back to 7 watts. So remember, 2 containers are running and it's a Proxmox. Okay, and even Ubuntu desktop, I'm going to start it, and you're going to see it jumps up initially, comes back down, and we are going to now boot into an Ubuntu desktop, as well as we are going to keep the Ubuntu and Debian container running. Wow, that was fast. I was not expecting that much speed. Yeah, oh my god, look at that. It's very snappy. 9 watts. I'm officially impressed. It's doing great. Yeah, you can see it's fast. So it's snappy, it's very fast. Another thing I just want to do while we are at it, why not? You know, let's just also start Windows 11 and you can see how long it takes to boot. Oh my god, it's done. Okay, yeah, it's fast. You get the idea, you get the point. Right now I'm running Windows 11 desktop, Ubuntu 24 desktop, Debian container, Ubuntu container. Everything is running in this bad boy with no trouble, absolutely no trouble. And I can go back here, go to shell, and you can see everything is working fine. And the fans are ramped up as soon as I started Windows 11. I think it's doing, yeah, it's the Windows, you know, it's doing the update stuff. That's why it's ramped up. But yeah, it's even installing the updates already. Okay, so I just wanted to show you guys this. As I said, I'm going to put a discount checkout code for this. It's on Amazon, I believe. It's gonna be a link on Amazon. They told me they're gonna give me, so I will try to put it in there. For 280 bucks, this is a killer deal. And for this performance, I ran everything. I ran LLMs, gaming, Windows 11, Proxmox, Ubuntu. Everything works, and the power consumption is crazy. When you're not using it, it goes down. In Ubuntu, it goes down to like 6 watts, and when you're using it, it goes up. As you can see right now, 3, 4, 2 containers, 2 VMs running. When you're not really doing much with your containers and VMs, it goes down to like 10 watts. Very impressive, very nice. That's all I have to say. Okay, I don't think I have anything else to show you guys. I covered pretty much everything about this mini computer. If you have any questions, if you want me to do certain tests or let you know about anything in particular, let me know down below. Once again, thanks for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye for now.